Okay, friends. My voice is clearly audible. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, we are taking up a product called ASHA. This ASHA product is a unique one in the sense this is neither the part of the health insurance category nor of motor category, but it relates to both. How it is, let us say I am sharing the presentation with you. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this ASHA, as such a word, stands for Shri Ambulance Service for Hospital Assistance. Basically, this relates to ambulance service. Now, ambulance service is one area which is not covered by any of the general insurance companies so far. This may be a part of health insurance policies of some companies, but especially for this purpose only, no company has designed any policy. So this is very interesting to see a separate policy on ambulance service. Let us see what is this. This policy is a non-motor product. Means the product category of this one is non-motor. Though it has plenty of things to do with the motor, but product itself is of non-motor product category. And the line of business is miscellaneous. Miscellaneous in the sense, under the non-motor category, excluding health, this is a separate product which will be called as ASHA. Now you see, ambulance is the focus of this product. So all of you must know what is ambulance first. Basically, an ambulance is a medically equipped vehicle which transports patients to treatment facilities, for example, hospitals. So typically out of hospital medical care is provided to the patient during the transport. In case of any emergency, a person will always prefer to call an ambulance, because that ambulance will take him to a medically equipped vehicle. This ambulance itself is a medically equipped vehicle, and this will take him to the treatment facilities like nursing home, clinic, hospitals. Even the out of hospital medical care is provided to the patient in the ambulance itself. Certain kind of emergency arrangements are done in the ambulance. Say for example, oxygen cylinder, drip, certain injections, medicines, etc. They are all provided in the ambulance itself. Ambulances are used to respond to medical emergencies by emergency medical services. So this is a term called EMS, means emergency medical services. So these emergency medical services are always there in an ambulance, because every ambulance has to respond to these medical emergencies. And for this purpose, they are generally equipped with the flashing warning lights and sirens. You have seen every ambulance is having a special siren as well as warning lights, which is glowing at the top of the ambulance. And siren is specially designed because when the siren of ambulance is blowing, people generally give way to the ambulance first. Everybody understands this is a case of medical emergency. So they can rapidly transport paramedics and other first response to the scene. They carry equipment for administering emergency care and transport patients to hospital or other definitive care. So the basic object of an ambulance is to take the person in medical emergency to any hospital or to a definitive care, medical care, as early as possible because the person is in emergency. So most ambulances use a design based on vans or pickup trucks. Other take the term of motorcycle, buses. In these formats you will find the medical ambulances. Motorcycle, buses, limousines, aircrafts and boats. Here we are concerned with the vehicle which is plying on a road. So for our purposes, under this policy, an ambulance could be a van, a pickup truck, a motorcycle, a bus and even a limousine, but not aircraft or boat, because they are the vehicles or devices which are used in the air or in the water. So only the vehicles which are used as ambulance on the road are the subject matter of this policy. So in short, this is called ambulance. Now, see what are the key features of this policy. The first one is ambulance fees are only payable in the event of a medical emergency. Thus, the policy does not cover any pre-planned hospitalization. So, the object of this policy is, this policy does not provide any health insurance coverage or hospitalization. This policy pays only ambulance fee payable in the event of a medical emergency. If any amount is incurred on the treatment of a person, that is not part of this policy, that is part of a health policy. So benefits under this policy maximum can be utilized 2 times during the policy period. Policy period is 1 year. Benefits under this policy can be utilized only 2 times during the policy period. Any cost or expenses pertaining to ambulance services over and above the scope of cover of this policy will directly borne by the insured. Means the policy provides a limit on the coverage. Policy will reimburse to that limit. If the expenses incurred by the insured are over and above that limit, insured has to directly bear that cost. Geographical area or territories within India. Ambulance can be used within India by the insured anywhere across the country. The entire geographical area of the country is the coverage of the policy. Proof of family relationship must be submitted at time of filing a claim. Family relationship means this policy is not only for the one insured or an individual insured. This is providing the coverage for a family. So the family relationship with the insured has to be established. For that purpose, any ID proof is required. So proof of family relationship is required for filing a claim. So these are the key features of this policy, which says policy is for 1 year. 2 times during the policy period claims can be taken. Any family member of the insured is entitled. Ambulance fee is reimbursable. But if that fee is over and above the policy coverage limit, that will be borne by the insured. The geographical area or territory limit of the policy is the entire country, India. There is no need to extend the geographical area, because any person residing at any particular place can use the ambulance services in any emergency wherever he is, and he can hire an ambulance, he can get a claim under the policy. So the geographical area is very wide. Now, what is the scope of cover? This policy, ambulance service for hospital assistance, in case of any medical emergency, will provide an ambulance up to the covered distance. So the company will provide an ambulance, and if it is not possible, then reimburse actual fare expenses for the reasonable and customary charges necessarily incurred on availing ambulance services. That means for the insurance company, this is not possible to provide a network across the country, means a pan-India network of ambulances. That means ambulance will not be provided. Then what the policy will pay? Policy will reimburse actual fare expenses for the reasonable and customary charges paid to the ambulance, because ambulance is hired. That means if the insurance company is not providing ambulance, insurance company has to reimburse the ambulance charges. Simple. So this is the basic coverage of the policy. Maybe if the company has a network of India, of all India level, in a position to provide an ambulance, then it is well and good. But this seems to be a very difficult task, very big task. So it is always better to reimburse the actual fare expenses, subject to the policy limit. Now the service is available from the place of occurrence of medical emergency to the nearest hospital. So this nearest hospital could be a nursing home, a clinic, or a hospital. Means place of occurrence of medical emergency to the nearest hospital. This ambulance has to travel for this distance only. The place of occurrence to the nearest hospital. Second option, one hospital to another hospital for the purpose of providing better medical aid following medical emergency. sometimes this becomes very crucial. Because medical emergency means there could be a heart attack, there could be an accident, there could be fire. So the person never know what kind of medical emergency is there. Suppose there is an accident, brain injury is there. So the person suffered injury. From that place, he need an ambulance to the nearest hospital. And suppose he has got the ambulance and he rushed to the hospital. He reached to the hospital, but there he finds that the hospital is only ENT department. This has nothing to do with the brain. For brain treatment, he has to go to another hospital. Another hospital is again 4 kilometers away from that place. So obviously he has to go to the another hospital. In such a case, this policy will provide the coverage from one hospital to another hospital for the purpose of providing better medical and following medical emergency. It could be better medical care or it could be the proper medical care. So this option is also available. And the third option is hospital to insured home. That means under this policy, the ambulance service can be availed for these 3 reasons. The first reason is from the place of occurrence to the nearest hospital. Second is one hospital to another hospital for the purpose of providing better medical aid. And the third option is hospital to insured home. Any of these services can be required, or maybe more than one of these services can be required. So 2 claims in a policy year are permitted. Now, there could be an illness. Illness can also be a medical emergency. A sickness or a disease or a pathological condition leading to the impairment of normal physiological function which manifests itself during the policy period and requires medical treatment could be a medical emergency. Suppose I am standing on the road waiting for my friend. Suddenly on the road I suffered a cardiac attack. So in that case I will need an ambulance. This is a sickness or a disease or a pathological condition which requires medical emergency. So this could be the reason for asking for an ambulance. So illness is covered. Injury, any accidental physical bodily harm, excluding illness or disease, solely or directly caused by external violent and visible means, which is verified and certified by a medical practitioner, is also covered. Injury could be sudden by any accidental reason. I am traveling, I am standing, I am using my vehicle. In any case, there could be a medical requirement because the injury is suffered. And this injury will definitely need